All right, a pleasant day to everyone. Welcome aboard. Those who found access to this online lecture on Christian ethics. And today is February the 5th, 2026. And we will deal on the topic of ecological ethics. So let's begin this with a opening prayer. O Lord our God, we come to you with humble hearts as we seek your wisdom, your inspiration. Help us, O Lord, to internalize things, especially in Christian ethics, as we integrate this learning to our ministry and what we've been doing in our daily lives as your followers. Only in the sweetest name of Jesus our Lord. Amen. So we will deal with ecological ethics. You know, it's a new development in Christian ethics when for so long seminaries had been so silent about the environment, about ecology, or greening the church, so to speak. So it should have been called environmental ethics or land ethics, but let me explain why we choose ecological ethics. Well, comparing ecology between ecology and the environment. Well, environment is simply, sometimes it connotes all things surrounding human being, you know. It's human being, it's not part sometimes of the environment because we are the center of creation. So, but we will not be advocating that human beings are at the center of creation. No, we are part of the environment. So simply environment is the things around us, but we will not advocate that uh, we will not advocate that we are above human beings because we are moral beings. We are above other creatures. No, we are part. Ecology means one biotic family. We are part and parcel of environment. We are part. So ecology means it's more inclusive. Uh, we are not at the center. We are not over and above other creatures. We are part of the family. All right. There's also a ethics synonymous to ecological ethics, which they Aldo Leopold called land ethics. You know that we have been transformed to conquerors of nature or exploiters of nature into plain members and citizens of creation, the whole creation. So we are all plain members and citizens. We're not over and above. We are not at the center. We are not at the apex. We are within the biotic community. Biotic means life. All those have life, including mountains, trees, rocks, oceans. These are part of the biotic community. So, for so long, we've been teaching the importance of humanity in Christian ethics, but now we should also focus on our relationship along with the whole non-human beings. Just like in our motto, in our Philippines Evangelical Theological Seminary emblem, we preach the good news, we preach the gospel holistically. It's not for only for human beings. So that's in Mark 16:15. It's in the whole creation. Preach the gospel to the whole creation. So it's not only humans. Okay, so that was a religious tradition that's no longer holding bearing to our relationship with God and the whole creation. Okay. Humanity is not only the object of the gospel. It's the whole. The whole creation must be saved, must be redeemed. In fact, in Romans 8, it reads that the whole creation is groaning, just like a mother who is giving birth, with a lot of pains, you know. So we focus too much on our welfare as humans. You know, we have been developing our economic life, and that's why industrialization came into being, modernization, even technology, science and technology, making our life, having better communication, uh, faster transportation, you know, easy access to everything. But we have gone wrong in our relationship with other creatures. So there are uh, seven things here that have gone wrong, especially for us Christians. Number one, the value of the earth is secondary because we believe as Christians, earth is not our home. Okay? Just like the teaching of Augustine in his book, City of God, you know, we're just passing through in this earth. Our real home is the heavenly city. So we're not giving importance to this earth as our earthly home. It's not really our home. So we are focusing on that heavenly city, but it's not our present home. So our concern right now is our present home, the earth. But it is secondary as our priority. Our priority is to reach the heavenly city, as what Augustine and everyone else, theologians, are teaching. That we are just passing through in this earth. We are pilgrims. We are in a journey, and our journey will end up either of the heavenly city or hell or Hades, you know. Second, we give more importance to our spirit or soul. You know, it's only the human soul can be saved. So we're not regarding dogs, cats, and other creatures, other animals. They're insignificant as far as souls are concerned. So they have no souls. But who knows? There'll be dogs, cats, horses, carabaos in heaven. You will never know. These are creatures of God. It's not creatures of whoever that creator was. It's only God, the only creator. Huwag nating pangunahan ang Diyos na iniisip natin. Hindi sila kasali. So, number 3, we are just like we place human beings at the center of creation. That is gone wrong. You know, humans are more important than other creatures. How do we dare to say that? You know, this is what we call anthropocentric. You know, anthropocentric. As against what should be ecocentric. Anthropo means for human alone. We are at the center of all. We are at the center of the whole creation. Anthropocentric meaning humans are human-centered. Humans are always in the center of attention. We must only be the kind of creation that will be saved. No, we don't advocate that. We don't teach that now. Ecological ethics would not teach anthropocentric ethics. We always teach and advocate ecocentric ethics. At the center will be all creation, including planet Earth, including the universe. Okay? So, others are insignificant. Other creatures are insignificant because we eat them, we consume them, we exploit them for our use. But we have an ethical responsibility to regard them with intrinsic value. They are there for a purpose. They're not merely for human consumption, for human abuse and exploitation. No. We have the ethical responsibility to replenish them. Kaya nga bawal mangisda ng mga maliliit na isda. Kailangan yung mga lalaki kasi yung mga maliliit, mga anak yun, pag kinuha mo yun, wala nang susunod na henerasyon ng mga species. Kaya marami ng mga species ang nawala sa planet Earth dahil sa mga gawa natin ng abuse of consumption. In fact, it's overconsumption, exaggerated consumption. Walang responsible consumption. Number 4, our westernized faith. We've been under the shackle of Western Christians. You know? Diyan kasi nanggaling ang Christianity sa control ng Rome, ng Constantinople sa ating church history. Kaya tayong nasa East, no? Oriental Christians, controlled tayo ng mga Western Christians. They always emphasize the individualization of salvation. Yung too much autonomy, too much freedom. Right? Laging yung individualism na Western value. And we got that from the Westerners. So that's gone wrong. Huwag tayo maging individualistic. Ano tayo? We are inspired by the communitarian spirit. We cannot exist without the other. We cannot exist when we do not belong to the community. Number 5 is our influence from the Greeks, even before Common Era. The Greeks, especially the philosophers of those times, controlled the intellectual dimension of humanity. Kaya yung dualism, turo nila ng dualism, laging nag-aaway ang dark at saka light, evil and good, matter and spirit. This should be complementary, Hindi yung laging nag-aaway. Laging kino-contrast. Okay? So dualism, laging ano yan eh. Yung epekto niyan, our body is evil while our spirit is heaven-bound. That's not a good teaching we got from the Greeks. Body and soul should be one and the same. They should not be dichotomized or separated. Komplementarya, magtulungan yan eh. Hanggang namatay na tayo ay yung body natin, sabi nga ni Pablo, 1 Corinthians 15, this physical body will become glorified from corruptible into incorruptible. So magamit pa rin na hindi separated, hindi maiiwan ang ating body. No? Huwag nating sabihin na evil ang ating body. Okay, number 6. The term sustainability is very vital in ecology. Kasi magaling lang tayo sa simula, hindi tayo maka-sustain. Sustainability is one of the most powerful words in ecology. What is gone wrong is that what we know about sustainability is only cognitive. It's only from the mind. We are not acting it or making it a way of life like the indigenous peoples. Malam lang natin i-define or i-discuss, pero sa way of life natin, no, we are not sustainable. We always prefer the gold rather than the preservation of ecology. Lagi nating ini-exploit. Okay? And then number 7, it's the absence of relationship. Relationship is very much important in ecological ethics. You have to be related to other creatures. Because we are all created by God. Don't tell me the dogs are not important as humans, We are all creatures. We are not supposed to say that we are over and above them. We are at the center. Lagi tayo nag-exploit. Kawawa naman yung ibang other creatures. Wala tayong moral responsibility or ethical responsibility. So, even before Christ, we should be learning these two individuals before Common Era. Empedocles was born 494 to 434. Kasi before Christ yan, kaya pa-decrease yung year. Okay? Kung Common Era, pa-increase yan. Hanggang mag-zero siya kasi before Common Era eh. And Epicurus, Empedocles, famous teaching was the 4 elements or roots of every creature. That every creature has this four elements according to Empedocles. The fire, take note of this, the fire, the earth, or soil, the air, and water. These four elements will soon be taught by indigenous peoples as the medicine wheel, na mayroong apat na spokes ang medicine wheel. Fire, earth, air, and water. Okay? Sa atin, halimbawa, meron tayong fire kasi meron tayong init eh. Meron tayong heat, meron tayong fire talaga eh. Hindi pwedeng wala. Kasi kung patay ka na, malamig ka na, wala nang fire, wala nang heat. Di ba? As long as we live, we have these four elements. Air, earth, itong balat natin, earth yan eh. Galing sa lupa yan eh. Yeah? Mga solids. Tapos air, hindi pwede tayong mabuhay, walang mga elements ng air. Ang dami dyan, ang daming mga ano talaga ng elements ng air. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, ang daming klaseng air sa ating katawan. No? Sa chemistry, mga gaseous form, we are made of air. Just like animals or even plants. No? Yung mga plants hindi mabubuhay pag walang sunlight. Yung init ng sunlight. Ulan, hindi, walang water. And then, we talk about water. What do you think? Are human beings more water than Earth? Yeah. Mas maraming tubig ang katawan natin kaysa Earth. No? Walang water katawan natin, hindi tayo mabubuhay. Kaya dapat inom tayo ng inom. Huwag uminom ng nakakasira. Yung pala mga gustong-gusto natin, mga nakakasira eh. Soft drink, actually hindi yan dapat tawag. Sa Pilipinas lang tinatawag yan na soft drink. Tawag yan sa ibang bansa, soda, sodium. Actually hindi yan soft drink. Hard drink dapat ang mga Coke, Pepsi, commercialized. Sugar lang makukuha mo riyan. Alcohol, ayan. Mas marami pang nainom natin na alcohol kaysa tubig. We are not made of alcohol. Doon kailangan na kunti lang, moderate. Okay? So, we owe this teaching from Empedocles. Na merong cycle, according to Empedocles, meron ding cycle ng love at strife. You know? Ganun ang tao eh. Minsan, very concerned. Pero minsan naman, nagagalit. No? Merong puot, merong resentment, merong inggit. Ayun ang strife. Yung love, mga positive, ano yan, energies. Compassion, ganyan. May love. Merong kindness. Pero cycle yan. According to him. Okay? Wala, hindi natin yan mabasa sa Bible eh. Unless sa Ecclesiastes, pero hindi ganun pagkasabi. Now, Epicurus, or Epicurus, whatever you want me to say. Born 341, mas bata ito. And died 270 before Common Era. He didn't believe in life after death. Minsan we are too much preoccupied with life after death or afterlife. Why not think that when you die, that's the end of everything? And I don't care. Diba? Tapos na tayo sa mundo. Parang reward naman kasi yun eh, pag na ano ka sa Diyos. If you're chosen, or God will be the judge, not us. So let's just do what is good, and then let God judge us. Wag yung preoccupied tayo sa heaven. Hirap yung reward conscious, you know. And one good thing for Epicurus is he didn't believe in superstitions. Dami sa mundo mga superstitions. Mga bawal, mga blessing, mga swerte. Di ba? Naniniwala pa rin kayo na malas magbigay ng pera o mag-receive ng pera sa gabi. Anong connection yan? Kung tumulong kay isang tao, araw ka lang tumutulong, gabi hindi. Anong klase yan? Klaseng espiritu yan. Epicurus would tell us, there's no such thing as that kind of belief. Ano yan? Mga gawa-gawa. Sana gawa ng Diyos yan. No? Lahat ng gawa ng tao nakakasira talaga. Tingin niya sarili niya, Diyos, creator din siya. Okay lang. Mga gawa natin ay dahil sa Diyos, okay yun. Pero kung arrogante tayo, gumagawa-gawa pa tayo ng mga paniniwala na saan galing yan. Alright? So, he advocated pleasure as the highest good. The summum bonum is pleasure. For us to have freedom from anxiety and to have lesser pains. Dapat ma-minimize natin ang pain. Hindi naman natin maiwasan ang pain sa mundo eh. Mamatay talaga ang mga mahal natin sa buhay. Minsan malulungkot tayo dahil we fail. You know, hindi pwede tayong hindi ma-fail. We will fail. No? Hindi na lang laging pasa, laging ganun ang buhay. No. Ganun din. Sabi ni Epicurus, ha? So, yun. To try our best to have freedom from anxiety. Bawal talaga yung worry ng worry. Ayaw ni Epicurus yun. Okay? Uh, ang isang hindi maganda, one thing that is not really good is Christian pilgrimage on earth. Yung we are just passing through. We are journeying on this earth. We're making it a secondary priority. Ngayon, sa ating panahon, because nature is blatantly exploited and distorted, destroyed, a lot of environmental degradation. We can't bear making it this secondary priority. Isabay natin sa mga basic need natin ang concern, love for the earth. Huwag yung sabihin natin na this is not our home. This is not our home. May awit na ganun eh. Kalimutan ko na yung awit na yun. Blessing yata by Laura Story. This is not our home. No, this is our home. We can make this home a heaven. Okay? We can create a forest. The planting seedlings, forestries. You can bring back the birds. Sana yung mga species na nangawala na. We can make this home a heaven. We can make this earth a heaven. Yeah, that's one of our power. Na hindi tayo kasi ecologically converted or regenerated. Lagi lang kasi kaluluwa iniisip natin. Outdated teaching or outdated theology. You know? Yun ba? Hayaan mo man yung heavenly home. Future yun eh. What we do today molds our future. So gawin natin yung mo lang muna yung heaven na yan. Do you want to go to heaven? Sus, buti pa sabihin mo, who will come with me to plant trees in the mountains? Ayun, dahil sa slot, pagkatamad, ibang concern, masyadong selfish. Mamamatay tayong lahat sa baha, wala pa tayong gagawin. Tapos sabihin natin, this is not our home. Papatayin talaga tayo sa baha. Bukas, kamakalawa, hindi natin alam. No? Dahil sa human exploitation. Greed and all this arrogance against nature. Okay? Tapos itong mga mayayaman na nasyon, all these rich countries are exploiting our natural resources. I was in Calamansig, Sultan Kudarat, when I was a youth. It was way, way before. I saw nasa port ako ng Calamansig eh. Nasa seaport. May mga malaking barko na doon, naglo-load na mga troson, nagagandang mga kahoy. Inubos yung mga mountains dyan sa Sultan Kudarat. Mga virgin na mga forest. I-transport nila yung mga magagandang mga logs, mga truso sa France. Tindi. Ini-exploit ibang nasyon ang ating natural resources. Tapos lahat na nagmimina, taga-ibang bansa yan eh. May-ari. Wow, they're just exploiting the third world or developing countries. Yan, lalo na yung ancestral lands ng mga indigenous peoples. Baliwala yan. Buti nilang ginawang mga national park ang mga mountains, ano na yan, presidential decree yata yan, executive order, mga national parks. Para walang maka-encroach or trespass sa mga indigenous lands. Kasi, in the 16th century, 1550, there were 80 million indigenous peoples around the world. Ngayon, wala na. Less than 10 million na lang ang indigenous people. Sa kalahin mo yan, 80 million. Kukunti kasi, minority sa mga tao sa mountains. Tulad ng Igorot. Igorot simply means mountain people. Taga bundok talaga yan. Bisaya pa. Taga bukid, bibay. Okay? So, indigenous peoples have to share something to the world, especially to us who are not indigenous. they introduce a way of life, they called it ethic of kinship. Ethic of kinship. Ito yung ecological ethics talaga. Yung sinabi kong absence of relationship. Yung nakakasira sa ecology natin ng mundo. Wala tayong karelasyon sa mga non-human beings. Pero mga indigenous peoples, kapamilya nila, they treat all non-humans as their family members. They are in relationship with the monkeys, with the trees, with the birds, with the deers, with the bears, the fishes. Without them, they couldn't exist. Kaya ang dami nating sakit ngayon because we keep on destroying nature. Sabi nga ng nature, take care of us and we will take care of you. Exploit us and we will exploit you. We will kill you. To yan. Ilan ng mga taong namatay dahil sa environmental destruction. Wala tayong karela-relasyon. Tingin lang natin. Kaya ito ngayon. The instrumentalist view or the utilitarian view of nature or creation. It's simply the non-humans are only for use and enjoyment. Yun ang nakakasira ngayon sa nature. Tingin lang natin sa kanila, they're simply for our enjoyment, for our consumption. We can exploit them. Walang binigay sa atin na ganyan ng the Creator did not pass on that responsibility to us to abuse them. We have a moral responsibility or ethical responsibility to non-humans. Yun Instrument sila. Yun lang tingin natin Remember that each one of us has a worldview. And this worldview is how we see the world will impact how we treat that world. Kung tingin lang natin, use and enjoyment, well, we'll exploit them. We will destroy nature. Because it's only for use and enjoyment. Too bad. It's really gone wrong. Kita nyo yung core of the matter. Bakit sirang-sira ng planet Earth? It depends on, it begins with our worldview. Tingin natin sa mundo. Only for our use and enjoy. We have no relationship. It has really to remind us that there is an absence of relationship. Ecological ethics is buttressed with relationship. Tulad din niya ng gusto mong maligtas, kailangan ka mayroong right relationship with your God. Okay? Ano lang? Kain lang tayo ng kain. Hindi natin sila rin-replenish. Poor connection with the internet provider. So, I will end this with the most ambiguous term among Christians in relation to ecology. This is the ambiguous term, stewardship. This is one term that we've been using as Christians, that our approach with nature has gone wrong. Considering stewards, caretaker of the earth, manager, we are placing ourselves over and above other creatures or the non-human beings. To say that we are caretakers, stewards of creation, nasa taas na naman tayo. It always has the temptation to exploit all these non-humans. You know, it betrays the ecological virtues of interdependence or interrelationship, the virtue of kinship, you know, an ecocentric view of nature. Stewardship, lalo sa mga Kristiyano, it's always about money. Money-centered. Hindi creation-centered. Time, talents, treasure, naku. Para lahat 'yan sa tao, hindi sa lahat ng creation. You know? It's an ambiguous term that we've been using as Christians. Wala namang stewardship sa Bible eh. You know? Walang stewardship na word sa Bible. O stewards of creation. Gawa-gawa natin yan eh. So what we need now is to greening the church. I would explain that next meeting. Greening the church. Kasi ngayon ang church, mga brown, color brown, walang green. All right, so we'll deal with that next meeting. Okay.